Welcome back, everyone, to episode 6 of the Building Public series with Jason at Commercial Legal. The main topic of today's show is how you can create a side hustle earning you around $12,000 extra, $16,000 extra per year while you're working a 9 to 5 corporate job. And this is from my intimate personal experience because when I started my SEO business, I was doing it as a side hustle alongside my 9 to 5 corporate job. And so I'll talk about how I did it, what were some considerations that I had, what were some things that I would do differently. And hopefully, this would be helpful to anyone out there who is doing a 9 to 5 job and want to get some extra side money, some extra side hustle money, or want to ease into actually going into a business full time, but don't know how to transition from a full-time position into a business. So before I get into that main topic, let's talk about what happened today and yesterday. So I didn't actually make my BIP episode yesterday. I was just going through some things emotionally. wasn't feeling very good at all. I didn't do any work, and um, I didn't hit the gym or anything like that. I was just on the couch all day with the blinds down and didn't feel good at all. And so that was that, and I've also felt very similar today as well, so that's why this video came out a little bit later than usual. I usually do this in the morning, but today it's like, it's 4:30 PM at the moment, so yeah, but what happened today was, I checked one of our clients, their website was recently we recently finished building a website for one of our clients that we recently onboarded about a month ago and sent the website over to them to get the feedback, just waiting on the feedback. The next thing we'll do with that website is make any changes to the site copy that they have. And then after that, we'll make the website mobile and tablet optimized because around 60% of all site visitors come from mobile. So that's very important. What I also did was I also had a chat with one of my managers who is recruiting a social media content creator, specifically with using Canva. So had a chat with my manager about how we should approach the interview process. We have 2 interviews lined up tomorrow with 2 people in the Philippines. My manager has vetted them, thought that their portfolio was really good, and so I'll just be on the interview for both of them. But I'll let my manager lead the interview, and I'll just be there to support. And if there's anything that the manager needs want to throw something to me, I'll be there to pick up and take the interview in the right direction. So that's that, and then one last thing is I had a conversation with another manager, my article manager, about the performance of one of our article writers. So I just need to send an email to them about some feedback and how we can make some improvements to just the way we work. So yeah, so that's about it. Again, I didn't do much today. Just wasn't feeling good emotionally. And I did jack all yesterday. So yeah, so the main topic is if you're a 9 to 5, if you're doing 9 to 5 at the moment and you want a side hustle, either just to get some additional money or as a way to transition into actually starting and running your own full-time business, this episode is for you. So what I did was there's a few different components, right? First, you got to actually get clients. And then secondly is you actually got to do the work. And then thirdly is how do you manage the work doing and the client acquisition when you have a 9 to 5. And the fourth part is just some considerations to have before you actually do this and during doing it as well. So first thing is how do you get clients? Well, this is the eternal problem with any sort of person trying to sell a service, right? How do you get clients? Because you're not working in a company that does a client acquisition for you. You got to go there and actually get the clients yourself. So what I did was I got a Fiverr list. I got someone from Fiverr to get a list of 500 law firms in New South Wales, the state that I live in. And I don't think there was 500 law firms in New South Wales, so they got some law firms in other states as well in Australia. And I just cold called each one of them with my phone number. There was no cold calling software that I used. There was no call tracking or anything like that. I literally just used my personal phone number with my mobile and just called every single one of them. Um, and one of them picked up and was my first client, and they're still with me today. And it was awesome because they said that they needed help with SEO. I was actually pitching Facebook ads because I had experience with Facebook ads doing "Give Me Bubble Tea" advertising, but they said they needed SEO done, and specifically they needed articles written. And so I was like, yes, I could do that. You know, I'm a lawyer. I know a bit of marketing. I know how to work with WordPress websites. I could do it, even though I've never done it before. And so you just need to get clients. You just need to have sheer volume, and you just got to pick up the phone and call. If you're based in Australia, or if you're in the western in one of the Western countries, it's easier to cold call because you have the native accent, and it's easier for you to banter. It's easier for you to connect with them, as opposed to if you're living in India or the Philippines, or anywhere else that doesn't speak English as a first language, or you have an accent. It's a lot harder to do cold calling. So, um, I only have experience because in cold calling, because that's just I like to talk. You know, I'm pretty good at building banter, so that's just what I did. And so, what you need to do is pick something, pick a way, either cold emailing and just do as much as you can, or cold calling and do as much as you can, or and spend don't spend too much time setting up. Right, just get a list and just start cold calling. Get a list and just start cold emailing, because the results come not from the preparation, in the sense that you could spend an infinite amount of time preparing, the script, preparing the cold calling list, preparing which platform to use and all that. But really, the results come from you just doing the work and just cold calling and just reaching out to as many people as you can. I made the mistake. So here's one thing to avoid: making the mistake of preparing too much. I was trying to do cold emailing, I remember, and uh, I spent too much time choosing which platform to use. I spent too much time trying to find the perfect cold emailing script. I spent too much time figuring out whether I should attach a custom email into the first cold email, or should I use a custom video in the second email. And I did nothing with it. I sent no emails, and I spent all my time setting things up. I spent like 2, 3 days recording a video that I would have AI software replace the name. Hey Jason, hey Tim, hey Jen. And I didn't email that because I thought, oh no, it just wasn't that good enough. Until I got to the point where I was tired of not actually doing anything, and I just started calling. And so I just picked up that email list, that leads list. I had the email, I had the company name, had the phone number, and I just called every single one. And one of them would pick up. One of them would pick up, and one of them would say yes to a sales call. You just got to do the volume. So that's the first thing about how to get clients as a 9 to 5. Obviously, you want to make sure you don't do it during business hours. You don't want to do it when you have other work to do. What I did was I did it before 9 a.m., but I did it after 8 a.m. So between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. So that's when I did it, because it's around that time that people actually start being on the computers. But I don't need to be at my computer when I was doing 9 to 5, because it's literally 9 to 5, right? And then what I also did was I would also call, like during lunchtime. I would call, again, I would call like the businesses, and any free time that I had before 9 o'clock and during lunchtime, I would call. So that's just the direction for you to follow when you want to start getting clients. Just pick up the phone. That's the best way to do it. It's easy. It's just quick and easy. It's right there. You just pick up the phone and call. You don't need to set up any emails. You don't need to set up cold calling, cold emailing, like DKIM, like anti-spam protocols and all that stuff, all this technical stuff. You don't need to do that. Just do the thing that's going to bring you the quickest results as fast as you can, and that is just by calling people. There's no setup involved. So that's getting clients. Second thing is doing the work, right? So you need to spend all the time you have to learn how to do the work properly. I was On the weekends, I was working from 4 a.m. to 2 a.m. the next day, writing articles, one after another. I was checking. I wasn't just writing articles like with my keyboard. I was actually using AI. So I was learning which AI tool to use, which I was prompting all these different ways of getting the right of getting the right output for each article. Changing the prompt here and there, checking out other prompt templates back then, that when prompt templates were a thing. Checking YouTube videos on how people use what prompts they use. Integrating different prompts integrating different bits and pieces from other resources and into my own prompt, and typing it out. And you'll see in one of my old videos how I actually did it. It was still one of the old videos on. I think it was the 1 hour step by step video on creating articles that showed the good old classic prompts that I was using to write articles. So you got to learn that, right? And you got to spend time doing it on the train, on the way to work, on the train, on the way back from work. You got to do it During lunchtime, sometimes I would go down into the lobby of the office building and I'll just hide somewhere in the corner and just do like 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs. I would read all the I'll not just write content, I would actually do research and I try to learn the actual content I'm writing about to make sure that it's correct. I'll do the fact checking myself. So there's so much learning involved, and you just got to spend time learning it. You just got to start googling. I didn't buy any courses. Don't buy courses. Just go on YouTube and find how to do this, and just watch the first video and then watch the second video and try something else and try to do it. And then you might have some issues, and then so you start googling, okay, how do I fix this issue? And then you start learning what other different steps involved, what's involved in each step, and over time you will start getting better. And at the moment, at the beginning, you have to use all your time and labor to do that because you don't have skill, right? I didn't have skill when I was doing it, so I'll spend so much time learning, spending so much time writing things one by one, spending all my time fact checking things, making sure it's correct. Because at that point in time, I had no skill, and so all I had was labor. So that is how you do the actual work: is just spend all the time and labor that you have to learn how to do it. Thirdly, is I forgot what the agenda was, but I know thirdly was how to do it when you're having a 9 to 5, right? Obviously, between 9 AM and 5 PM, except for lunchtime, even though lunchtime probably doesn't count, especially if you're in the office. Between 9 AM and 5 PM, you have no freedom to do the actual side business, so you have to do your actual work. So make sure you do your actual work properly, make sure they don't feel like as if you're doing a bad job or anything like that. You need them to know that you're doing the right work, um, and doing it well. Before 9 AM and after 5 PM is your time, so you need to spend all the time you can doing the work, cold calling, doing actual work, learning, watching YouTube videos a little bit, but only watch enough YouTube video to know what to do next, and then you do the thing, right? There's no point watching YouTube videos if you don't do the thing. So what I like to do is what I like to do was when I was on the way to work, I would whip up I have like a Chromebook. It's like a 1.5 kilogram Chromebook. I could hide it in my bag really easily. It was really light. I'll I'll snatch the closest available seat. I'll snatch the closest available seat on the train, and I'll whip up my computer, turn on the hotspot, and just and just start typing away. I'll start doing the work. I'll start prompting. I'll watch YouTube videos on on how to do the work. If I didn't get a seat on the train, I'll just whip up my phone, put my headphones in, and just watch. Right? I'll just if you don't have to have a laptop to actually do the work, you can at least watch YouTube videos and know what to do next as soon as you have access to the laptop. And that was on the train before work, on the train after work. When I was working from home, I would do the work up until literally 8:59, and then I would start my 9 to 5. And again, it's just you got to make sure that you do your 9 to 5 work properly because you're getting paid for that. And then any other time outside 9 to 5 is time to do the work for your business or your side hustle. So that's how you do it, right? You got to find all the time that you have to do it. And fourth is some considerations. One consideration is make sure that, like I think I already mentioned this, right? Make sure that you have, that you do all the work that you can for the actual company that you're working for the 9 to 5. You don't want to bring any suspicion. You don't want them to start thinking, oh, is he doing something else? Is he like, oh, let me check. Is he available now? Like, oh, it's 8:59. He still hasn't locked in yet. And maybe he's doing something. You don't want to bring any of that suspicion because once you have that suspicion on you, it's so much harder for you to actually use your own time to do the work because at that point you're thinking about, oh, should I log in now? Should I move my mouse? Should I, the Teams, the green logo if you're still using Teams, the green dot saying you're online. You're thinking about all this other stuff when you shouldn't be, before 9 and after 5. Second consideration is you want to make sure that you have as much of a buffer as possible financially. So you need to stop spending money on anything that's like just not necessary, like food, right? Just buy the cheapest food, go to Woolies, go to Coles, get the yellow sticker discounted food. You need to have as much buffer as you can in case you need to quit your job. Um, if they find out and they fire you, which is almost what happened to me before I quit, or just give you that buffer because you never know when you need to, especially if you're transitioning to a full time, especially if you're thinking of transitioning your side hustle to a full time business. There will be a jump where you have to quit, and you need to have all the money that you can get to make sure that you can last as long as you can until you start getting your paycheck from your actual clients from your business. So save as much money as you can. My partner and I, we spent as little money as we could. All the outgoings was rent, bills, and our mortgage, and also petrol, and that was it. So Yeah, if you don't have enough, there's actually a video. There's a video. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so this is a video I need you to watch if you are 9 to 5 right now and you want to start your side hustle, either just as extra money on the side or especially more if you want to have your own business and you want to quit your 9 to 5. Is watch this video from Alex Mosey. Watch this if you're tired of being broke. 15 minutes, watch every single one of it, every single minute of it, because this is what I watched and it gives you all the blueprint, all the entire blueprint, all the steps needed to build a buffer in order to actually work on your business and actually jump from 9 to 5 to your business. I'm not going to talk more about what this video is. I'll leave it in the description and also in the show notes, but make sure that you watch this video. And yeah, that's about it. I don't want to have this video going on too long. Yeah, just make sure that you do all the work before 9 and after 5, even weekends. Make sure that you do as much outreach as you can using your phone because or email if you have to, but use the method that will get you on the phone use the method that will get you in contact with someone and more importantly, get someone responding back to you as quickly as possible. And with that, it's the phone, right? You can dial someone. After 10 seconds, someone's going to be on the phone. That's what you want. You want to have someone on the phone with you as quickly as possible. You want to reduce the lag. You want to reduce the amount of time involved between you saying you want to do this thing of getting clients and you actually talking to someone with the opportunity to turn them into a client. So with the phone, I always prefer the phone because after 10 rings, after 2 seconds, 3 seconds, someone on the phone. So there's immediate feedback loop as opposed to me setting up a cold email system and it's going to be like 10 days, 12 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to warm up your cold email to make sure it doesn't go into spam. It's just like that just takes way too long. Um, Secondly, spend all your time to actually build a skill that's required to deliver the service that you said you're going to deliver. Do it for free if you have to. That's what I did. Actually, I said I'd do like let's just say 5 articles per month. I actually did 10 articles, 5 articles paid, the other 5 articles free because I just needed the practice of writing articles to know how to write it better. And if I double the output of writing articles, I could actually get better in half the amount of time it would take otherwise. So do as much of it as you can for free because you have no skill. I had no skill, and so you have to just offer labor instead. And with labor, gives you the opportunity to do things a lot more. And once you do that thing so many times, you actually get better naturally, and you stop sucking. So that's that. And yeah, let's just answer the questions. The questions from last episode. Thank you so much, Taylor. Jason, enjoying your video series. Keep it up. Barry, P.S. We're a legal firm, so stealth learning from you. No worries. Keep stealth learning as much as you can. If you need any help, you can just email me. Happy to hop on a chat. I'll hop on a Zoom call, 15, 20 minutes, free. Just let me know. Leading Leads SEO, great video, Jason. Always learning something new from your videos. Um, Thank you so much for checking my video out again, guys. So I love your method of providing a brand new website to new clients. I think is brilliant, and user experience is a key factor. Hoping to do something like this myself, but in my experience, designing a website is a nightmare with revisions and differences in design opinions. How do you manage this process and make it scalable? Do you outsource this to someone and let them build it within your specifications, or do you build the entire thing yourself? Do you also charge website management fees? Okay, quite a lot there. I actually might make a video about how I do website deliverables for my clients, but just to give you some answers now, very briefly, let's have a look. How do you manage this process uh, of building and designing a website, especially with revisions? So, what I do, this is literally what I do, is I would preface the website design as saying, "Hey," as the website build as saying, "Hey, this is an opportunity for you to get a brand new website, the one that you always wanted for the last few years, ever since your website from 5 years ago was made. And this is done for you for free. We'll design everything, we'll build everything, we'll manage everything for you on the house." Obviously, sometimes this would cost $6,000, but for you, it's free if you sign up for a 6-month contract, etc., etc. I preface it with that, saying that they get to redesign their website, and so once they agree to it, I say, "Okay, great. Uh, Here are a few examples of websites that I think would match your brand and your aesthetic and the services that you provide." And I give you like 5 different websites that I found online. And let's say, let me know if there's one that you'd like to copy, if there's one that you want to be inspired by, or otherwise, or you can also, sorry, otherwise, you can also send me some example websites that you like that we can also copy. And so there, we sort of we're sort of giving them ideas of design. We're not doing it from scratch, right? We're giving them the direction of Okay, find a website that you want us to copy for you, and obviously we'll change it a little bit. And so most of the design is actually kind of done by the website that they've chosen that they want to be inspired by. And so we just got to change the colors, the logos, some of the structure a little bit, some of the copy, obviously, the images, obviously. But most of the design would then be kind of already pre-vetted, already pre-approved because they chose the website that they said they'd like a design of. That's what I normally do. Alternatively, there's one client that I did was I downloaded a UI Press is another plugin that has a whole bunch of templates, and so for WordPress, and so not UI Press, sorry, UI Core. And then they have a whole bunch of templates, and I just shot them all these different templates that I thought was, appropriate for their brand, for their website. I just gave, open up each of these templates, gave them a few of these, and then let them choose the one they like. And if they've chosen the one that they like, I kind of just use that template, and they'll obviously change the colors, some of the images, some of the text, obviously. So that's it. So there's not a lot of like building a design from scratch. It's just being inspired by other existing websites and using a lot of the design from that. And so so with that said, it's the back and forth. There's not much back and forth. There's maybe one or two rounds, and that's about it. But even then, most of the design has essentially been pre-approved because they chose the website that they want to be copied, that they want to copy. And then so how do we make it scalable? How do we manage this process? I still manage it myself in the sense that I still directly communicate with the client, show them the websites, the inspo websites, and then I have a web developer in Pakistan who I've been working with for about a year now, and he kind of just rebuilds the entire website and then also makes the changes as well. I give him the site copy that I write myself for now, but I will be getting someone else to do it in the future. And then he adds the site copy in that template page into that template website. He has the freedom to determine what site copy looks good in this way, in that way. Sometimes he deletes some site copy. Sometimes he doesn't have to use all the site copy that we give him. It's just base document, and then he could just take whatever words, titles, and put it into the structure of the website. So he does it, and then I just check the work. Once it's good, I then give the website to the client for them to give the feedback, and then I'll provide the feedback to my web developer. He makes changes, and the client is happy about it. So that's essentially it. I haven't scaled that part yet, unfortunately, so I can't answer that question. Do you outsource this? Yes, I do. And let them build it within your specifications? Yes, I do. I used for the first few websites, like the first two, three websites, I would actually build everything myself. But I've been slowly outsourcing each aspect of the website to my web developer. So before, obviously, I would build the website entirely myself. The next level was I would get the web developers to recreate the Inspo website, and then I would change the copy, I would change the images and everything myself. The next stage after that was I would get the web developer to rebuild the Inspo website, and then also change the colors. I would get him to change the logos and the buttons and all that. And I would do the structuring of the site copy. So obviously, different site copy would look good in different parts of that simple website. So I'll be the one who was inserting it there into the website. And then the next stage after that was I would just give the site copy that I had generated, and then I'll give it to the web developer and give him freedom to choose what site copy to what site copy to include on each page. And alongside that, I actually really like that process of me doing everything myself first, and then sort of piecemealing it, outsourcing different tasks to the web developer after every project, because I still get the experience of understanding. Okay, I should include this in each page. I should include this type of copy in each page, and then I could include that in the SOP, and then give the SOP to the web developer and say, look, for the past few websites, I was including this on each page. I want you to do that too, and I give them the reason for it as well. So I don't just outsource everything from the beginning. I kind of do most of the things myself, and then I piecemeal outsource everything, because then I get the knowledge of how to do everything, and then it also gives me the confidence to instruct them on how to think and how to approach different parts of the website build. So yeah. And then do you charge website management fees? No, I don't. I actually don't. And the reason for that is because website management fees, the actual cost of the website management is really not that much, right, in terms of hosting. And secondly, it's just one extra objection that a client can have as to why this is something else I need to pay for now, right? For me, the value at the moment in not charging management fees is I can just pitch the SEO stuff and then get them to say yes, and then I start working on it. I start perfecting the craft. I start getting results, and I start getting testimonials. That's the value. So I don't want to jeopardize that by then saying, "Hey, you also need to pay me additional $50 a month." So in the future, I will be charging management fees, but it's not a big revenue generator, anyways, and it's not a big cost, anyways. So it's a pretty low priority for me. For now, I just want to build a website and get the SEO campaign started so they can start seeing the results and I can get them as soon as possible without as many distractions and fees and add-ons and all that kind of stuff for them to think about and for them to potentially object and not sign on. So yeah, but I will make a bigger video on how I handle website development in the future. So stay tuned for that leading leads SEO. And then, Artie, thanks so much. 61 views doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter. And um, I'm just glad you like the content. And happy birthday for my mother. Thank you so much. And also, thanks so much for saying backlinks in the comments as well for the algo. So that is it. Leave your comments and questions in the description below. So sorry, guys. My vibe today has just been a little bit off. Just don't feel good. Hopefully tomorrow or the day after I'll feel better. I will still keep doing these building public videos at the very least for my own sake to keep the consistency going. And yeah, I'll also have the show notes link in the description. Although there's no show notes today, so you don't have to sign up. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, and see you in the next one.